All right. Good evening. Good evening. This is our weekly Wow Wednesday testimonial call for AO Scan and all things related to Solex. Tammy and Scott are traveling to Florida, so they cannot be with us. And I do not have her disclaimer slide, so I will just repeat it. AO scan technology is not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or heal. It is an information technology only. If you have health problems and need care, you need to seek the advice of your healthcare provider. Okay, now let's get into some great testimonials and experiences. Anything Solex. Anybody have anything new or anything that's happened that you haven't shared yet?
Well, I'm new here. I haven't been on a call, but
Welcome, Stacy. We're bringing her in because she doesn't have a sponsor.
yeah. So I have been imprinting crystal pendants, like donut shaped pendants and stuff, and I've been having a lot of success with that. And it's almost like I have this like little idea in my head to have a boutique with just items that I can imprint. And and because someone gave another friend a crystal, and I said, well, let me erase that for you and imprint it with what you want. So that's been kind of going like wildflowers. But I'm wondering now, I went to an EES event. Are you familiar with the EES? The
I'm
big
not.
scalar. It's the big scalar healing um devices. It's like a room with 24 devices, and it's scalar energy. But in their store, they have bath salts, they have face masks, they have so many things that they've imprinted, and they're non-specific with their imprints. So I'm thinking now, what else can I imprint?
Oh,
So, because they just made up a thing of Epsom salt and a couple other things, and then just had it scanned by their system. So, and it's
wow.
selling for $10 for this really tiny little bag of bath salts. So,
What a powerful idea.
mhm, yeah.
Wow.
So
So
I
are
don't know
you,
what can be scanned. That's my thought now. What else can I scan? Because I don't know their system, but I can get very specific with things. So with the AO scanner.
so are you selling imprinted crystals then?
Yes, the
And now you're,
donuts. They sell them for $100. I sell them for 25.
wow.
I'm going to increase my prices, but still. But I guess from what I understand though is the imprint doesn't last very long. That they have to be re-imprinted.
Now I would say that probably has to do with the material.
Hmm.
Um, and another thing that Lauren has said, like with our Cephi dots,
Right?
he has said if so those are good for 3 days before you've used up all of the energy. And then there's something
Mhm.
about aluminum after that. But he has said if you're in an area where there's negative vibration, like maybe you've just gotten a fight with somebody or there's some kind of negative energy, you need to erase it and re-imprint it. With other materials, I do not know, but that would be an excellent question for customer support to hand off to Lauren and Kai.
Yeah. I'll ask that tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Because I saw these really beautiful printed medallions. They're just on cardstock, but those would be really pretty to imprint. And people can use them as coasters or whatever they want to use them for. I said, oh, but I don't know if paper would hold a charge, but if the selfie dot holds a charge, why wouldn't paper? But that
So
has something in it, right?
the
In
our
material.
homeopathic pellets, those are
Hmm.
good forever unless you antidote them.
Okay.
So like the sucrose pellets.
Hmm.
Um, Metals, I just don't know enough about that, or gems,
The crystals, yeah. This is rose
crystals.
quartz. I've been doing rose quartz, and I'm gonna get some more next week and see.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's my new adventure.
I love it. That is powerful. Is anyone else imprinting things for people?
Hey, I do.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you you say that like you knew that.
I kind of figured.
I do auricular therapy in my practice, And we have these ear seeds that we would put on particular auricular points in order to stimulate a meridian. And we already have a different machine that we do programs on people, or a biofeedback type of a thing, and then it holds the energy from whatever homeopathic remedy we're giving them with the laser. And so I just moved that right on over to this. I use that, and I will put the homeopathic, I mean, not put the homeopathic, I'll put the ear seeds there, do whatever it is that needs to be imprinting, and just put it right on their ear so that it can be delivered into the pulse or into the person throughout the week. There's
Wow.
so many imprinting, really is there's so many different things. There's almost no limit on what you can imprint. It just, depending on what you imprint, it depends on how long it holds a charge. But I think that I might end up switching over to Cepheid dots more, though, because I haven't experimented too much with Cepheid dots, but the little bit that I do see about it, I think people might be more inclined to wear it, like, meaning like take one off and then put another one on because they're kind of cute. They're just something that people can actually remember. I just haven't, I have a box of Cepheid dots. I just haven't like studied it to know whether or not you're supposed to use a specific point all the time, or if it really matters. I got to get more into that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it really matters, but you can use meridian points. And if you do the Cepheid scan itself, it will give you 4 places that you can pick. But I hardly ever use that program. I just imprint with what I know somebody needs, and we just put it in a great place that, like I like to put them behind the ankle, but that's really rough when you're wearing tennis shoes. So that doesn't work so great, even though it's a great place. So behind the knees seems to be pretty good. It's going to depend on the person and their daily activity.
What other, like, what else? Because I actually only have seen people put it around their hands.
Mhm.
Where are the others, just spots? I'm not asking you to name them all, but
Yeah.
give me
So,
just a couple other places.
whoops. See if I can. Right here is, whoops, right
That's what I'm used to seeing. Yeah.
there
Yeah, that's a
or
large intestine
here.
meridian. Yeah.
And I've seen some people just put them on the top of the hand. I don't know. I like this spot here.
Okay.
The 2 points back behind the neck back here, really great.
Mm-hmm.
The K2.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other points people have seen or used?
I wonder
Carol.
whether or not there are people who put them on the ear.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I put that point that's below the knee, a little bit to the right of the knee. It's another acupressure point. I put I actually imprint Band-Aids and put the Band-Aids on.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Ah, I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna start using Cepheid dots. I think that that's something that people can get into, and even clients that I'm seeing virtually, I can just send it out to them. I think that people can use it to take more responsibility for themselves, because people don't put ear seeds in their own ear for the most part. We as
Right.
practitioners do it, or they'll have somebody else do it. But Cepheid dots, you can just tell them this is where they go.
I love
Mhm.
imprinting and sending them to people. I think people really love them. For one, they're very beautiful. Anyone else on this topic or another topic?
I had some pain the other night, so I scanned what I needed for Steffi first time, and it did come up pain. So I scanned for pain, and I popped one on, and it worked. It's been fantastic. So that was my first time, and so I'm very happy that it worked. So we get to do more. So it's exciting. Yeah.
Kate, was this head pain or a different pain?
It's belly pain, tummy pain, yeah. So, yeah. So, but I'm feeling much better, Sheila, than what I have done for the last 6 weeks, that's for sure. So, yeah.
Okay. So do you want to share a little bit about what you had going on? We had conversations trying to get you a scanner so we could relieve some of this stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yes, so I initially contacted Sheila. I had a vertigo-induced migraine, which I've had for 4.5 weeks. I've got a young family, so I was so unwell. I was just spinning the whole time, and the head and the nausea. So in desperation, and I'm a person who doesn't normally ask for anything, and I just said to Dave, my husband, I said, I'm going to call Sheila and see if she can help me. So I did, and Sheila did a remote EV scan on me, and the results were pretty horrifying, weren't they? My head was just, you actually replied to me and you said, oh my gosh, you've got so much vascular stress in my head, on nerves and veins and etc. So I just kept listening to all the harmonics, and then I finally got my scanner and my 660 band, which I've had for 2 weeks now. Game changer. So here I am. My eyes are open. I'm pain free. My vertigo's gone. It's been unbelievable. Thank you, Sheila. I'm really grateful to you from the bottom of my heart, because you put up with so much, and yeah, it's just been awful. But now I'm here. That 660 band is unbelievable, and to the point I will buy another one so I can share it. It's just amazing. So yeah, I wear it daily, many times a day actually. So yeah, and then because I had to take different things, I had this awful reflux and whatever. So that's what I'm dealing with at the moment, just because I had to take so many things, antacids and things like that to, deal with this pain and the vertigo. So I'm finally getting on top of it. But the scanner, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this for so long. So because I have bad tinnitus and hearing loss, and that hence I'm wearing these. So it's my life mission to find something to fix this. And I think it's all related. The hearing loss, my tinnitus, the migraines, the vertigo, it's all in here. So I want to fix it. So this is it. So I was meant to find you.
I have an oil that we might also use. I just had a veteran on my table last week, and we did a modality, and he had no hearing in that right ear at all, and it's improved 70 to 80% in one session.
What was that, Sheila?
Helichrysum.
What was it?
Helichrysum.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I use it. Yeah, I use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it regularly. Yeah.
Just made me cry. When I started talking to Kate, she was miserable, and it just was breaking my heart. And I just could not wait for her to get her own scanner. So I am so blessed to hear the great results that you've received, because that was really painful.
Yeah. Oh no, I was actually really scared. I was, I was starting to think, what's wrong with me, and I was really worried. And I did, go to the doctor, and they sent me for an MRI scan, and everything come back fine. I've seen my osteopath several times, and they've all said the same thing. It's just this vertigo-induced migraine. And it all started from going up and down a lift. So that's how it started. So,
ooh, gosh.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to improve. So yeah, so much better. So I'm just getting started, and got to keep using it and work out how to use it. but it's good. So yeah, it's great. So thank you. So anyway, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah. So,
you have a powerful story, and now you know how to help other people.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah. And when I did my first report, it was pages and pages long of all these things that were out. And every day now, I'm just, the page is getting smaller and smaller. But I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yay. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, still crying. Ringing in the ear. Yes, it sure does. And I can teach you a modality to use with that. Do we have anything else? Anyone else have something to share? And I don't care if you think it's a small thing, because everything is big.
So on the Cephy dots, when you send them, do you send them in the package that you can buy with the share, like the shareables? Is that how you send them to people?
I had actually bought some before they came out with those sharing kits. Tammy had told me a link on Amazon to buy the foil line packet. So I bought a ton of them. I've got plenty for life, I think. But yeah, so the foil line packs that protect the energy, or you can get the sharing packages.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want to protect them.
Okay. And when you share them, how long do the frequencies last in them?
So Lauren says to only wear them for 3 days because you absorb all the energy within 3 days.
Okay, so
And
if you wanted somebody for like a whole week, you'd have to send them multiple ones.
yep. I'll send people enough for a month.
Okay.
Mhm. As long as they're protected, they'll hold that imprint.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One thing that I have been doing with my Stuffy dot, I actually put a dot on my water bottle and imprint it with frequency.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, water holds frequency really well, and we can imprint our water with frequency. But to have like a dot on there that I can erase and imprint as much as I want, I like to do that.
That's awesome. I love that. Now I need to think about that. And I just got the Bluetooth headset. Oh my gosh. I know people are worried about Bluetooth, but it is a game changer in terms of sound. The sound quality blows my mind. And I keep forgetting to put a Cepheid dot, but I'm not showing up for radiation. So you do know if you're worried about those things, you can imprint with the 5G. I've got a 5G playlist in our Facebook group. Just put that in and imprint your Cepheid dot. Or some people have other EMF protectors they can just put on their Bluetooth headset. It is a game changer when you're listening to your tones. Wow.
Well, do you know Nadia? I was gonna say, do you know who Nadia is?
Mhm.
He imprints the water and then freezes it. Just to see.
Yes,
Have you seen those pictures that that's pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. I would like to remember to try to do that. Nadia's got all those creative ideas in that area, and for some reason, I don't think about that.
Mhm.
Cassandra, Carol is asking, what did you imprint on the Cepheid for your water bottle?
It totally depends on the day. Like when my kids are a little bit more chaotic, then I'll send like something more nervous system calming, those sorts of things for support. Other days I'm like broadcasting or imprinting with abundance. And like I've been really focusing on forming the best version of myself. So like adding in to that playlist like resolve. I'm drawing a blank of what else I'd put into it. Just but anything that really resonates. A lot of the flowers, the quantum flowers, I add lots of those in. And it just, yeah, it really just depends on what playlist is sort of calling my name that day.
Love it. Let's see. Leslie was asking if they can be used after 3 days. Now, there was an interesting conversation in the official Solex group because Tammy has mentioned on here that she likes to erase them and re-imprint, and she will use them for weeks. And Lauren has always told us just 3 days. There was a comment in the official Solex group last week or week before last, and they were having the discussion. After 3 days, there's something about aluminum that is emitted. So I think that's why Lauren said just use them for 3 days and then throw them away and get a new one. So does that answer your question?
I also muscle test. I also muscle test to see if the frequency is still holding. So if you're not sure how to muscle test, definitely drop a comment below and somebody can teach everyone how to do it.
Excellent. Yep. So I hope you all are coming to Day of Discovery. Oh my gosh, it is going to be mind blowing. You are not going to want to miss this. Chelsea from our team actually is going to do a little training on muscle testing for those of you that don't know what that is, because that's the answer you get all the time. Well, just muscle test it. And you're like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to do it. So Chelsea's going to have a really powerful class on that. So that's going to be really great. Carol also asked why the ankle for Cephis. That's actually one of the meridian points that comes up on the scanner when you do the Cephi scan. And I just really like that behind the ankle. But for little kids, because my glam babies love Cephi dots and they need them, but ankles don't work because shoes rub them off. Safe for someone who's pregnant. Yes, the AO scanner is absolutely safe for someone who is pregnant. Tina, what concerns might you have?
Probably easier to unmute.
Uh-huh.
Let me walk in the other room so I don't echo too bad. All right, my daughter, she's got like about 4 weeks left till her due date, and I've been scanning my grandkids, but she has always had difficulties with her pregnancies.
Mm.
If all her kids, if she didn't have so many miscarriages and or stillbirths, she would probably have 10 kids right now
Wow.
instead of 3 daughters and soon to be a son.
Mm.
So I guess that's one of the biggest concerns I have. Would it be safe for me to do that for her? Or
Absolutely. You can even scan the baby.
really?
Yep. And there was somebody talking about that in the official Solex group. Oh, in the last couple of days. I didn't take the time to read it, but I did see it. So yeah, it's absolutely safe. It's just frequency. There's nothing that can hurt anyone. In fact, when I first got started with AO, one of the first pictures I saw, and I don't know if it was in the phase training, but I remember seeing a picture of a scan. Someone was having some issues, lots of pain, and they did a scan and they found a fetus on the outside of the uterus. They didn't know.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it's perfectly safe, can't hurt them.
Okay, I'll talk to her about it then.
Yeah.
Thank
Leslie,
you.
will there be, you are very welcome. An opportunity to tune in. So Day of Discovery is going to be live only. They will not live stream it. Some of our team training, Tammy and I did do live streaming at our virtual event. We haven't really discussed that yet, but we will discuss that. We're still trying to make all those arrangements.
Sheila, can I comment back to the pregnancy?
Yes.
You can also during the labor and delivery part, run the scanner for peaceful, calm transition, because if she's had so many miscarriages and stillbirth, some anxiety could be present during the labor and delivery, and that emotion can have a transference impact on the child. So you can work these last 4 weeks with her on keeping her calm and peaceful, the body in a good balance to continue the last thriving 4 weeks of development of the fetus, and then have the scanner. I may have said Cephi, I meant scanner. The scanner in the delivery room, or if not in the delivery room, you at home and her at the hospital or wherever she's delivering, to help with a peaceful birthing process. So it definitely is an efficacious tool to help with labor and delivery.
Yeah, I appreciate that you brought that up, Carol, because especially with her history, that is going to create a lot of a lot of triggers are going to be happening, which could negatively impact the experience. And so everything that you can do to bring peace and assurance to her is only going to help for a successful outcome.
Okay, so basically look for peace, loving, and
Yeah,
calmness.
Confidence, also the confidence that everything's going to go as planned. You could create a playlist of several things that will just boost a positive experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Amen. Stacy, looking for the Facebook group. So if you go to the guides, there is one with Cephies.
Okay, got it.
And if anybody else is making, so we have in there a list. We have in there a couple of PDFs of over 100 playlists that are not on graphics, but there's also a guide that has pretty graphics that you can use. If anybody else is making pretty graphics you want to share, put them in there for other people too, if you don't mind. I would love to go through all of our playlists and make those graphics, but it takes time. Let's see.
I have a question.
Yes.
If we could go back real quick to the Cephi discussion, you mentioned that there were shareables now. I know I'm not going to ask you where to find them. I'm sure I could find them if I want. But can you, what are those? Or do they come in a different way? Like, or are you just saying that they're selling something for you to put the Cephis in when you send out?
Yeah, so if you go in your back office in the shop, there's the Cephi dots in the box, and there's also the Cephi sharing kit, and that's going to have your foil lined envelopes and little cards that show them how to use them, how to put them on.
But you still need, they don't come with actual Cephis.
No, correct.
It's a kit to, okay.
Yep.
When you send people enough to last them for a month, if these are people, clients without scanners themselves, right?
Correct.
So are you making a playlist off of basically what it is that you're working working on them for, something that you might be broadcasting, or are you actually going in, running a scan about what they need and then giving them that for a month? I'm just wondering how you're doing it.
I don't do individual. I do not run a scan for somebody and just do something. I'm working with people as my patients, and especially if they've got cancer or chronic condition, this is part of, they have to be on Inner Voice, and they're going to get a custom playlist that we use for 30 days, reevaluate at the end of 30 days and create a new one. So they're going to get Cephi dots. They're going to have Inner Voice. I just don't do random. Here, let me run a
But
scan and tell you what you need.
The Cephi dots that you're sending them, they're the imprint from the playlist.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
got it. Okay,
Yeah. So
thanks.
I will broadcast to them every day. They get a broadcast. I commit to that, and they have their Cephi dots. And in some cases, I might even imprint homeopathic pellets so they can take internal. So they're getting a three-faceted approach.
It's interesting that you would say that, because that's kind of where my mind goes. You know, frequency is frequency. So you can broadcast a frequency. That's one way to bring it in. You can bring it in orally with pellets or water, and you can have it on your skin. And having all three methods is not overkill. It's literally bringing it's getting into the system in three different ways. So I think that's really kind of cool that you're doing it that way, and it helps to validate what I had already decided to do. So I wasn't even asking about that, but it's very cool that you that up.
As
Yeah.
a side note, Daryl, I know you don't need marketing because you're a busy enough practitioner. But one of the things that Tammy did last month was because within the Cephi itself, forget playlist and all that, within the Cephi, there are 15 things you can imprint on the Cephi. Emotions, or I can't pull them to my head right now, I'm sorry. But there's specific things in that Cephi program that you can. So she picked 4 and put out a blurb that says, who wants to join me for the next 21 days? And as people signed up, she sent them 7 Cephi dots that she imprinted with that item, whether it was weight loss or peace and calming or some, trigger things that most common people are going, oh, I want to try that. And so she just imprinted 7. I think she did 8 in case one didn't go on right. And she sent them to them. $69, I think, in her area was her market level. And she said that then it works. And they're like, okay, what'd you do? Talk to me more about this. So that's another way of using the Cephi and imprinting in just the Cephi program, not going out and developing.
Actually, yeah, I can see that. If I got these little weird things and somebody called them Cephi dots, I didn't know what they were, and I put them on and it had some sort of an effect. My next question would be like, what is that? How did you do it? Give me more information. I mean, that would be a logical next step. It's a great point.
That's powerful, because our whole focus is to reach as many people as we can. We want every single household empowered, especially after everything that we've gone through the last several years. We have seen people's power taken away. And me personally, that does not set well with me. I want everybody empowered in their own home to be able to find out what's going on and to have a tool that they can actually deliver what they need to help support themselves.
Yeah.
So that is powerful. We want to reach everybody we can. Kate has a question. Sorry, Daryl, do you have more?
No, I was saying thank you.
You're welcome. Kate says, is imprinting a Cybin ring or bracelet the same as imprinting a Cephi dot? So the Cybin ring and bracelets, those are actually Cybin and black tourmaline infused. They're negative ion. You set them out in the sun every couple of weeks for a couple of hours to recharge them. So it's a different kind of material, but you still can imprint those with anything you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And where do you, like with the patch, I've got the patches, where do I put them? Do I wear them on the body or? Yeah.
You talking about the Cephi dots?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you put them around the house or the negative ion patches? Just the yeah. Put them around the
Yes.
house or?
Yep. Yeah, I have men. So we've got the patches too, the box of 6 patches, and I'll have men that say they put them up on their head under their hats.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yep. Females
I've
can
also
put them.
created, with the patches, I've also created what's called like a grid around my house. So I'll put one on one side of my house on the northeast, south, and west and make a grid with the same frequencies all around, just because I've got my kids running around. I'm like stay-at-home mom, so I'm always here, but I'm always taking on clients. So I'm picking up lots of different energies. So as my kids, especially when we're in school and stuff. So that grid around my house is really helpful as well for those patches.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Now you're talking the bigger patch, not a Cephi, the bigger round ones.
Yeah, you betcha.
Okay, Cassandra, I think this was directed towards Tina. Yes, and the conceptual meridian as well as the root chakra for both mama and baby. Oh, yes, she got it. Okay. How long do the patches last before recharging? Leslie, all of the Cybin, Lauren recommends every 2 weeks you set it out in the sun for at least 2 hours, direct sunlight to recharge. Does anyone else have anything to share?
Sometimes, Sheila, just a question with the Cephi. So can you just broadcast instead of imprinting? So it says it just broadcasts. So if I just quickly want to do something, I just quickly listen to the 2-minute broadcast?
Yes, ma'am. Sure can.
Yep. Yep. Okay. That's good. Yep. And you spoke about you can imprint pretty much anything. Yep. Great.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have so much power in this little device. There's so much power in here that you're not going to find in anything else. And it's so affordable. We can get this into every home. Can you imagine what it would be like if everyone had this capability? Oh my gosh. Life would be so different.
Hey, if you're gonna imprint a bunch of different things, always remember to clear it.
Okay.
So like you have a flower vase and you want to imprint that because you're giving them to the mom who just delivered baby or something. You want to add the energy, positive energy to that as it's going to go to that room. Make sure you clear that first and then imprint it.
Okay.
Yep. And Lauren says too, again, if you've had a negative conversation or you've been in a negative environment or there's something negative come into your environment, you need to clear and re-imprint because negative energies attach. They attach to us all the time and we're not always aware of that. Does Kat?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can.
Okay, I sort of have a question. A couple of times ago, I remember I was listening and somebody was mentioning about the amount of things to put in a playlist. And so I've recently gotten this device to help my mom who had a stroke in November. And Becky Bonema is the one who's helping me with it and was doing my mom. Yeah, and so it's been amazing. She's loved it. But since then we bought one and I've been using it on like everybody in my household I can think of. So at first, I made a playlist for my mom for stroke, and I made 2. Like one was full of homeopathics and the other one was full of other things. And then, you guys had mentioned perhaps it's best to simplify. I heard this somewhere. So this is kind of my question. So I actually made a third playlist for her the past couple of weeks, and I really just kind of nailed it because I found one that was just stroke. There's all these hidden ones in there that you don't know until you like come across it sometimes. So I simplified it down to, I think there's 5, and it seems to be having a greater impact. The past couple of weeks, I play it for her every day. So I guess my question is if you can speak to that a little bit, if that is there's a truth there, like too much is too much, or yeah.
Yeah, so I'm also a homeoprophylaxis practitioner, meaning I help families all over the world with homeopathic immunization instead of toxic injections that cause a lot of harm. So energy medicine, when we do homeoprophylaxis, we do one message at a time. We don't do like the big concoctions they do when they want to inject children with things. We do one because the immune system needs to focus on that message. If you go bombarding with all these messages, it's confusing and it can't sort. And I have found this with my own scanner because I like to throw everything at people and I'm way too much. And I was doing this with one of my granddaughters because she has so much need and I wasn't getting any results. And when I backed down and just targeted a few of the main things, we started getting way more results. So I just figured I threw her into a lot of chaos.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You've got to realize it's like, it would be like if this whole room, I don't know how many are on the call, but if all of us were talking at once, what is that going to do to somebody's nervous system?
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. So
Okay.
one message at a time is more effective.
Okay. The other thing then that kind of relates to is I have a Rottweiler who has seasonal allergies, and he goes on Adequil. I can't think of the name right now. And it really helps every year, but I try to like hold off as long as I can before I have to give it to him for that month. So I made him a playlist, and it's really helped. It's like holding it at bay. And I don't know if you guys know anything about hotspots, but I mean, they're like, it goes like wildfire. You have one and then it doesn't stop and it gets horrid. But I haven't given him any yet. And it's been a week and it got kind of bad. There's a patch on his rear end, but I made him a really short playlist for for seasonal allergies and like 4 other things, because I'm trying to go that route now. And it's holding it at bay, and it's kind of scabbing over now all on its own. I haven't done anything else. It's not true. I have this black powder. It's like charcoal. It helps to dry it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm just kind of waiting to see if I can not give him any right now. And so it's working, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Fantastic. Anyway. Focus on the main thing.
Yeah. It seems really important. And
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. Anyone else?
I did see some detox. I haven't looked too much into it. Detox in Cephi. What was that about, Sheila?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
I did see some detox programs in Cephi. What are they about?
Well, there's Lyme and Epstein-Barr and Giardia and all kinds of different things that you need detoxed from. Chemicals, metals, viruses, bacteria. Yeah.
And you obviously can use those as well as using something else at the same time. Yep. Okay.
Yep. As long as nothing is contradicting anything in your playlist.
Okay. I only stumbled across that last night. I thought, oh, I haven't found that yet. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. And you can scan yourself for that one to find out what you need to detox?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in homeoenergetics, which quantum boss. Homeoenergetics is after phase 3. You'll get access to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yep. And then you can run a scan and find out which of those detox and support programs you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phase 3 is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Phase 2 opens up the complete database. That's really powerful. And then phase 3 is, it takes a lot of the work out for you. But Lauren, I have a feeling that Lauren's got something really cool up his sleeve for September next month about taking out a lot of the work because he's really been talking about this and he's pretty excited about it. So can't wait.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything to share? Any experiences with yourself, your family, your friends, your patients?
I have a question. I've been asked to, a friend of mine just had her house feng shuied, and she wants to know if I could run Cephis for all the rooms in the house. And I
Yeah.
said, yeah, I can, but I'm not sure what to put in there. So I
So-
would just think, I'm sorry.
Yep. So you set up a profile for spaces and objects, and you can put a
Mhm.
picture. You can do the whole house, or you can do each individual room.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
And then just create Cephis for each room, or the same one. I can just run for each room.
I would do an energetic clearing first, and then run the
Right.
programs, and then an energetic shielding.
Right. Yeah, I always run them like bookends, the clearing and the shield.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Quantum
Good.
Boss, you have a question.
Just maybe a little testimonial about the AO scan.
Yay.
So my wife, I'm here in Canada anyway. I'm Gregory Hall, Quantum Boss. But yeah, I'm
Nice
here
to
in
meet you.
Canada. And my wife was going in and out of the hospital for a couple of years. Well, and the doctors couldn't figure out anything. CT scans, like a whole bunch of tests, blood work. They couldn't really figure out what was going on. And I would say about I don't know, a little bit after the 2 years, it kept on happening. I got myself a AO scan, and I was scanning my wife, and I kept on seeing a whole bunch of things. And one day she was really, really bad. I took her to the walk-in clinic, and the doctor said to take her to the hospital. But when I went to the walk-in clinic, I actually printed off my AO scan reports and gave it to the doctor. Didn't know if he was actually going to look at it or whatever, but he actually sent it to the hospital. And they couldn't find anything with the CT scan, but the doctor actually got the AO scan report, and they used that report and helped to find the brain tumor that was in her head.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Luckily, we found it, and the last report that I have is it's pretty much gone now.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
That, first of all, it's amazing that they even took the time to look at the report. That, praise God.
Right.
Oh my gosh. That makes me so happy. And thank you for thinking to print that off and take it to them. And I ask people too to remember to do that when you're going to practitioners. Take your scans because you could impress them and give them this technology for themselves. They need this in their clinics. Okay, so congratulations. Excellent job saving your wife's life.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Wow. Oh my goodness. Powerful stuff. This is why I say we need this in every household and every clinic. If no one else has anything, I do have a little testimonial from one of my ladies in Germany. They can't usually get on these calls, but they send me stuff and tell me that I can share them. And this is Martina again. I just love this lady. A friend of mine called me because she was not well and had pain in her head, also had some stress and a cold days before. We done a single inner voice and vitals, full vital scan, and a full comprehensive. The picture was not that clear to me last night, but the playlist I done for her by my intuition was doing her good, and my intuition for another easy scan today brought the answer, cranial nerve 7 in the red 9 could not get optimized. CRP high and herpes zoster showed up with 9 shingles, my thought. I gave her already instructions what vitamins was important, B12, and she is on the root products. Also, I let the scan playlist run for her. She went to the doctor. He confirmed it. Yes, I know we do not diagnose. By the way, thanks AOScan showing up on that. I have a genetic high lipoprotein A disorder. No doctor found it. I got it checked at the clinic where Dr. Rao works, who is also on our team. He's an amazing doctor in Germany. with the internal doctor. Now I have have to change my diet and even more, but that is okay. I know what to do. I'm more than grateful. You can share this on your call. This just blows my mind. I'm so grateful for people using this and helping people in such powerful ways and helping themselves. Because we know you go to the doctor, you go to that doctor, you go to that doctor, and nobody finds answers. We have something that can give us information to help us put the pieces together so that we can actually address what's really going on. Ah, I'm so grateful.
I have a testimonial.
Thank you.
So I have a client that I've been seeing for about a month. She's doing some lab work, so we didn't get into anything heavy yet. We have only done inner voice and AO scan for 3 weeks. Her problem is she has long-term COVID. She ended up getting one of the vaccines, the Johnson and Johnson, and she went downhill after a long bout with COVID, and she's considered having long-term COVID. She can't keep down any foods. She can't really eat. She can't really sleep. She's always in pain. She can't take her supplements. She can't have any smells. She ended up having to move out of her home closer to the beach, away from her family, so she could live alone, so that she could just not be bothered by just daily things. And again, we haven't done anything over the last 3 weeks except the AO scan and inner voice. And so we started going over her improvements. She's now able to tolerate her supplements. She's now able to deal with smells and essential oils. She's able to eat foods that she's not been able to eat in years. She had she came down with some sort of a viral cold or something. She doesn't know what it is, but she got over it in 3 days. She says that never happens. And there were a couple of other things that she said absolutely never happens. And because she's been trying so many different things and she's not been doing anything else for the last 3 months, but last 3 weeks, but she's been dealing with this for the last 2 years. She knows that there's nothing in her brain that's thinking that it might be something else. The only thing she's been doing is the AO scanner. And so I think that because of this talk, I'm going to send her Cephi dots along with homeopathic, so whether they be the pellets or water, and start doing this and getting it in 3 different ways. But that's my contribution there.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is so powerful. Ah,
Yeah, she's happy.
oh my gosh, I would say so. I am so glad that we do this call, because I was just thinking today, I actually finally got to float in the pool for a little bit today and get a little sunshine and some vitamin D and serotonin and dopamine. It's been depleted. It's been raining so much. And I was thinking about this call, and I was thinking, if I was by myself using the scanner and I never had anybody to talk to, would I be near as excited as I am talking to everybody about what they're experiencing and how they're using it? No, this is so powerful. I mean, look how empowered we are listening to what other people are doing, and so many more ways that we can help people that we might not have thought of. There's just so many things that you can do with this scanner. You can't think of everything. But I want to reinforce what Dr. Daryl's saying here. When you run a scan, a vital scan, an easy scan, a comprehensive, you're automatically giving them optimization. You don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything. It is automatic. So if you are just running a scan every day, you're automatically sending them optimizing frequencies. That is powerful. And I think that's what he's seeing here is the inner voice, listening, balancing emotions because they drive physiology, and then having those optimizations sent every day automatically. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of improvement in 3 weeks just doing frequency. Wow.
Sheila, can you do a vitals, not necessarily comprehensive, but a vitals without an inner voice at all?
Yes, you can.
But you can't do it through Easy Scan. You have to go straight to vitals.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm hoping that when they start fixing things or making changes, maybe that might be something that they can work on. Because unless I'm crazy, I can't see a reason to do the vitals without optimizing. Now, maybe you want to see what the before looks like and show it to somebody. Maybe that there is a reason, but it would be very cool if we don't have like, for instance, I don't have her voice, and now I'm gonna have to go in and do a vitals and then an optimization. I would love to still be able to do it with one click, because anytime I scan, I'm gonna optimize. It just makes the one click just makes it so much easier. And I would like to, I'm wondering what would happen if I did the easy scan, but I didn't put a voice in there because I don't have a voice, whether or not I'm screwing up the scan itself. You even have a thought on that?
So Lauren has actually told us that that voice is not necessary because we're scanning babies and animals and we're scanning autistic nonverbals. Now,
So it's just part of it, yeah.
The difference with the vitals is you can go deselect the whole thing and you can choose, like I did. Anne Marie had asked me how to run a food sensitivity because Tammy had posted that for people for marketing ideas, you know, getting people interested in doing a food sensitivity scan. And she's like, how do you do that? You go into your vitals, you deselect everything, and you just select food sensitivities. So you could just select any of those categories and just run that if you have interest. So that's why vitals by itself is really powerful. I don't use it very often. I do easy scan for almost everything.
I actually wanted to do that with a couple of people so I could show them their food sensitivities. The problem is I then got to wait an hour before I could do anything else in the vital section. And so I know that this is all new. This is not a complaint, but it would be very cool if I could run individual reports so that I could give them individual reports. I personally don't want to run a full vitals and give that to people because I just get a bunch of questions. But if I could just run a food sensitivity, give that to them, run a vitals, give that to me, I would love that.
Well, we will see what's coming in a few short weeks.
Yeah.
He's so tickled he can hardly keep it a secret. Great points.
So I could run an inner voice on my son who's nonverbal, and I don't have to have his voice.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. I tell you, I swear he holds his breath. He won't even give me his breath.
You've got his, as Lauren explains this right here is a physical, tangible thing that we see, but we don't even need it. We only need it because of the limitations of our minds at this state where we are. There's going to come a day we're not going to need this because we will have expanded enough that we get frequency, but currently most of us don't think like that. So you've got his digital signature here with a picture, his vital information. It's him. When you have his profile pulled up, this is all about him, and the technology is intelligent enough to scan him even without his voice. If you can get breathing or grunting, that's awesome, but we're scanning babies and pets that don't make a sound.
Right.
Question for Shelley, well, about Shelley. So if I wanted to scan an autistic child like she's got, I could go to easy scan and just let the 10 seconds expire with nothing. And then it would go into the vitals and the comprehensive on what it had picked up of that person's frequency because it has that intellect that it's connected. Or do I have to go individually to vitals and in? So example, my son is in Ohio and he just is not sending me his inner voice. And it's always, oh, I forgot. He needs this so bad. He said, Mom, you can run scans on me. I just can't remember to send you inner voice. So I can go out today when I have a 4-month-old inner voice, hit easy scan, and it just be quiet for those 10 seconds and it'll run through and optimize on him.
Yes, ma'am. Keep your intention on him. Yep. And then I want you to do this daily for 5 or 6 days. And I want you to actually look at his inner voice and look at his vitals, email it to yourself, email it to him, and see if it is adding up and makes sense. It resonates with what you already know about him and what you've already seen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Sheila, you've given me a new thing to do. Now I'm going to be asking myself, well, I always have old voice clips. Should I maybe try using that? or should I just be quiet? I don't know. Like I don't, but I never thought about just clicking easy scan without having something to do until you said that.
I personally believe that you should just be silent instead of using an old voice clip because that old voice clip has old patterns in it. If you understand what I'm saying, if I speak today, my patterns are going to be different than if I speak in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'd want to use today's clip. I'd want to just be quiet and run it.
It's interesting that I can believe and accept that the scanning system can find out what's happening in somebody's blood, but it didn't occur to me that it could find out what's going on with their emotions without, I mean, it finds out what's going on in their blood without their blood, but for some reason I was glued to their voice for the emotions. It's just training that I get myself out of.
That's why we have this call. And it is time for the weekly Solex call. I am so grateful that you all came tonight because this has been so powerful and empowering. Every one of you, thank you so much. And please make sure you encourage your teams, your people that you're working with to share because this empowers all of us. Okay. I love you so much. And I love seeing your faces and have an amazing week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.